Hi guys, it's me, just Linton again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to Asian History Month in the year 2025, I would like to discuss a little booklet or pamphlet that I read recently that tangentially deals with Asian history, and that being this. The Communist Manifesto, translated from German to my delicate English-speaking eyes. Now, as we all know, this is the pamphlet that started the whole socialism and and communism movement. And basically, it was made in 1848 for the American Civil War, which was from the years 1860 to 1865. So it's pretty old. I honestly thought when I read this pamphlet, I thought that it'd be a little bit more current than that. More like the 1900s, the early 1900s. But no, I thought it'd be bigger and longer. And yeah, I thought it'd be more like a booklet or like 100 pages long. But no, this is more like somewhere around 45 pages long. So it's a quick read for me. So yeah, how is it? It's well read. It's well written, and it's got very fancy language, including two words that are very important to this type of movement. And that being bourgeoisie, I think it's based on a French word, and proletariat. And basically, bourgeoisie are the people that are like the rich, wealthy businessmen, and not the people that own the means of production. So business owners, merchants, that kind of thing. And the proletariats are the poor slobs, the people who work their butts off for bourgeoisie, get crap wages, and work their butts off, and nobody cares about them. And you see the Karl Marx and Frederick Engels in here. They put everything in perspective of those two groups. Every event in history is based on the proletariats and the bourgeoisie or bourgeois culture. So that could make sense, but there are some problems with this document that I've seen so far, and that when you take an event, say you take a colonial expansion of England back in the 1700s to incorporate the 13 colonies into the territory before they became want to get independence. They would put those events in terms of the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, and they would put everything in the terminology of, say, economics, which you did find any, but you can't put all historical events in just economic terms. It'd be like saying that a Disney movie No, I meant a good Disney movie. Yeah. Can be just summed up in terms of its animation. I mean, sure, the animation is not, it's like a component into it, but it's not all the components that are put into it. You got songs, you got characters, you got you got text, you got scripts, you got all this other stuff that makes into it. A Disney movie that's good. And going back to the colony before, you got geography, you got territory, you got the will of the king back then, King George III. And you got religious aspects in it too. So you can't just boil a complex issue like like the colonies into just social, just the topic of economics. It's just impossible. You can't do it. But you try the hardest. In fact, it was Karl Marx that once said that that religion is the opium of the people. In other words, it's not good, and it leads people to being disillusioned, wishing for hope and other things that won't come their way until if they die, and then it's too late anyway to do anything about it. So yeah, when you look at the on the back of the cover, they have like all kinds of stuff that Marx, Engels, and Lenin have done. And you talk about communism, socialism, and economics. So I'm gonna assume that economics, politics and stuff, they kind of their wheelhouse. So that they know a lot about this stuff. You might even say you know everything there is to know about this kind of stuff, economics and things. And this little document is one of the biggest things for the founding of communism. And communism is thrown around a lot these days. But according to this, and it's 4 parts, and plus preamble. And it basically means that the government owns a substantial amount of means of production, and that most, if not all, the private production goes to the government for the good of the whole people. And then you can also tie socialism to it too. That it's a little bit it's separate from communism in that socialism is let's see, I have the definition right here. Let me just hope I can do that right now. Yeah, okay, it deals more with the social aspect of it, and that it's more like a social ownership of something. So let's say a school that be owned by the people in the community, not the actual government itself. So this has led people to have very much problematic things associated with this document. Myself included, I see a few little problems with it, because the basic premise of communism, I think it's a good theory. Indeed, it's good. Meaning that everybody in a communism society is all equal. Everyone is equal. Everyone's trying to reach the same goal of protection of about the government to help out the other people and stuff. But the only thing is that with greed and with the nature of human nature and stuff, that tends to be corrupted, and that the leaders of the group tend to view themselves as more equal than the others. So, in the case of North Korea, like, everybody's equal in that country, except for the rich and powerful and leadership, being that they are one tier above everyone else for religious and political reasons too. You know, if in a fair world, everybody in that society would be equal, because all the manufacturing, all the job stuff involved in it, and all funding goes directly to the government. Nobody can get ahead. It's like that in China and other countries too, which feeds into why I consider this to be a tentatively agent type of document / topic. Because if you think about it, there are at least four main areas where communism takes hold, and it seems to be permanently rooted in there. You know, number one is Vietnam, and this is in no particular order either. Number two is China, Red China, mainland China, not so much Taiwan, but China. The next one is Russia. Yeah, even though Vladimir Putin is still president, it's still communist as far as his rule goes, and as far as everyone else being less equal than him and his family and all that. And then the next one is, like I said, the most prominent and most pure communism state, North Korea, in that no one can get ahead because all business and manufacturing and range production goes directly to the very few powerful people. So the Kim family in that case, or Putin's family in that case, in Russia's case, or anybody else from any of those other countries. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that those four countries are located in Asia, more specifically East Asia and North Asia in the case of Russia, because it's the only country in North Asia. And I know that because it's part of Europe, Asia, because it's European, but it's my channel, so it's part Russia, it's part Asia, damn it. So yeah, it's mostly communism. It's mostly an agent issue, because to my knowledge, I don't think there are many other major parts in countries in the world that are communist, besides the obvious Cuba, which gets aid from Russia because they got like-minded similarities in that they want to take they want to destroy America and stuff. That's a different story altogether. But over there, the cast was a lot more equal than the others, so that's something too. Now, also, there are other problems with the document that I find interesting, besides the fact that they created Dandis to put every event in known history under the economics descriptor, or they try to put everything in the lens of economics and the economy, etc. Okay. Number one is the fact that is the renouncement of private property, as far as the means of protection goes, as far as money and capital goes. I doubt it very much that would include like private property, like your house, your pets, something like that, like private stuff. Like, I own this and I own that and whatever. But as far as factories go and stuff, that all belongs to government. Now, there's something else too that I don't like in this, and that when they say that when women belong to the bourgeois class and capitalist class, these two women are either married women, we're talking about here, like married women, they're considered common prostitutes. I don't like that at all. I think maybe that the terminology might come from the fact that it come from the mid-1800s, these two gentlemen. So, back then that part was acceptable, but nowadays, that's not copacetic. That's not cool. So, don't call married women prostitutes on my watch. Let's see here, they get kind of murky on the whole language with socialism and with communism too. I like the fact that, that whenever I make fun of it and I say Comrade Joe or Comrade Elsa or Comrade Vladimir, for example, I don't really mean that as but I'm communist, they're communist. I do it more for laughs, like saying like we're friends type of thing. So I don't like that. I like the way you expect a big historical document to be a huge thing, but no, it's only about this big. The translation problem, the translation in it. And the last line of this little masterpiece is working men of all countries unite, yet to overthrow the bourgeoisie. So there's always a spirit of rebellion, that we're here for you guys. Let's rebuild together. Let's make the world a better place. Let's make a utopia on Earth. But I don't think it's good because it's just like if America were a communist state, which there is a party in our electoral system for the Communist Party, but they don't have a single chance now of getting in power. But anyway, all of our income, all of our private business would go to the government. without us seeing much of anything. So we couldn't actually get ahead, and there'd be no individual achievement, there'd be no individual praise. Everything would go to the government. Or not everything, but a substantial portion of it. So that they would be on top. And we would be like slowly going very slowly level with everywhere else in the country. And that's not good either for us. We value our individual achievements, individual businesses, individual whatever else. There'd be none of that stuff. Let's see here, they claim that the bourgeoisie has the upper hand on everything on the historical things, but they forget about some of the rebellions in which the proletariat people would have important means, and then they will lose it again because of lower education and greed and the proletariat wanting to become the bourgeoisie. So it'd be kind of like a failure on their part to actually predict how a proletariat person would act if they had the same means and the same production abilities as a bourgeoisie person. They would be just as corrupt, just as greedy, just as crazy as a bourgeoisie character. So they put too much they had too much blind how should I put this they trust the proletariat to do the right thing if they have the means to do so. So that's something I noticed about this. So I find that this is such an important document and such an interesting read, even though it's quite wordy at times. I'm not just with that thought that you know what you're talking about with this. I'm actually gonna read this aloud for my channel one day. Not the whole thing at once, but maybe 5 pages at a time or something like that. So that you guys so that we can hear it along with me. So that we all can enjoy the Communist Manifesto together. Not because I'm trying to convert you or anything, because I feel that this is an important document that actually warrant knowing about. And I'll do that for other documents as well, like the Declaration of Independence, which our loving president doesn't know about. I find that insulting, almost as insulting as married women being prostitutes or whores for the bourgeois nation and for capitalism. But yeah, I view this as important tangentially Asian text because without it, North Korea wouldn't have the government that it has. Russia wouldn't have the government it has for many years before this. Starting in 1917, I believe it was. And that China would have the government it has, and Vietnam would have the government that it has. As well, I'm sure several others too. But yeah. As far as this document goes, I give it a poop emoji. Yeah, just for some negative push against it. And because these fix up major ones that people get confused about, and people interpret the wrong way. I thank you for watching my video on my reaction to reading Communist Manifesto. It was very interesting to see why the capitalist society was so diametrically opposed to the communism. Why was it so dangerous to us? Well, it turned out to be the renunciation of the private businesses between capitalist societies like so much. And we like to get ahead, we like to be opportunistic, we like to enjoy the finer things in life. But if we lived on the communism, that stuff wouldn't happen to us. We'd be pretty much on a level playing field with everybody else by force. No individuality, no achievements, no advancement. Everything would be like a heart monitor that goes beep, where the people on top would be like beep, beep, beep. So anyway, I did this for Econ History Month in the year 2025 because it's important to know that this is one of the reasons why the governments of Russia, North Korea, China, and Vietnam are where they are. Because the leadership, they want to be equal with everybody else, but they want to be more equal to everybody else, so that they are a higher notch on the podium, on the market, and a higher position. So I already give it my purple monkey because it missed the mark so very drastically. I'm sure that it missed the mark and missed the angles. Saw what became of their Marxism and the communism. They probably wouldn't approve of it. They probably would hate it. And the fact that people worship, like, say, Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il, and Kim Il-sung as gods, it's antithetical to what the communists stands for anyway. No religion about anything. So the fact that they worship like heavenly beings, it's like a stab in the heart. Communism sucks. So anyway, if you guys like what you see here, want to see more of my videos, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also give me any input on future videos and thoughts by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And if you like, you can reach me can follow me on Twitter, or actually prefer at PNelsonPro. Also, my email is at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So I see all you guys and comrades out there, and comrade but I will give this. And if you say comrade, it can apply to both men and women. So it's equal in that regard. It's not gender binding. That's progressive of them. But otherwise it just sucks. People warped communism to be bad and evil and all this stuff. But you'll see here, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I will see see in the next video. All you girls guys instantly thought. So yeah, and also another thing too is that because of communism and all that, we got the Red Scare because of it. Because people were paranoid about communists, communists this, communists that, the evil, the this and that. They're gonna infiltrate America. They're gonna infiltrate Hollywood and all that. So they're evil. So they must be stopped at all costs. So yeah. Sayonara. Ciao ciao. Avida saying.